Today we're going to make this old El Paso Mexican rice kit with chili and garlic. It's one of my kids' favourites, so they requested that I show them how to make it. Even though you just follow the directions on the packet. But we'll give it a go tonight, filming it. I'll see how I go. Today the Mexican rice kit. I've came in my Bogan shirt because that's going to be the theme of my recipes that I make, because we're all pretty Bogan here. So look, I can't even do my shirt properly. Alright, I'll get started on this recipe. Bear with me. So, for the recipe, you get the packet. It tells you what you need on the back. It is chicken, red onion, capsicum and lime wedges. And then all the instructions are there. I myself don't put the lime in it, so I prepared some of this stuff. I've diced up the chicken. It's about 600 grams there, but the recipe calls for 500, but 600 helps it go further. Chopped up a red onion. I showed you how to dice it in the Bogan Bolognese video. And we have a capsicum. Any colour will do. I got red today, but I'll dice that up and show you how I dice them up. And yeah, so we'll get on that now. So, I'm not sure if you can see this. I think you can. This is how I always start my capsicum. Actually, I might get a bowl full of the seeds. Put that there. I always cut a square in the top of here. Not sure if you can see that. Don't cut your hands off. This is to help get the core out. Might need to help it out a little bit. Alright, see that middle comes out? Pull that out into the bowl. And then I turn it upside down and I tap it with the knife. That helps get the seeds out. And they tend to fly everywhere. So having a bowl might help. I think that's most of them. Alright. You can chuck these seeds away, or you can dry them out and grow your own capsicum. Put that aside. Now I cut down these sides so we can make sure we got all of the capsicum seeds out. With these white spine bits, we don't want to eat them. So carefully sort of slide your knife, a good sharp knife, under them. You can cut this little bottom piece off. Put them in that bowl. And here's another one with a spine in it. You just like fill it around it. Another seed there. Tap that out. This one's got some pith in it as well. Probably should cut away from yourself so you don't cut your fingers off. One more bit. This has got a little bit in there. Right. Now the rest is self. I usually just dice the capsicum because my kids don't like huge pieces. Neither do I. I do run the knife face down, face the capsicum down, run the knife down it. Don't chop your fingers off. Then bunch it together and chop it up into the sizes you want. Easy. Chopped, seed out, ready, a leave it there, or you can put it in a bowl till we're ready to use it. Now the pan I use for this recipe is like a wok type pan, one of my favourite pans. So the recipe says to heat some oil up, so I'll get that going. We'll come back in a sec. Okay, I've moved my camera over to the stove so we can see what happens. I've sprayed, not sure if you can see, sprayed a bit of oil in, medium heat. Now we've got to brown the chicken as it says in the recipe. Just use a wooden spoon or plastic spoon. Let it stir around. One thing to note, the recipe calls for chicken thigh fillets, which are some of the juicier cuts of chicken, because it has more fat content. But when you dice up your thigh fillets, there's usually large chunks of fatty bits. I tend to cut most of them off, but there's still some fat, little bits attached to help keeping the meat tender and juicy. So the recipe says add the chicken and brown over high heat for 5 minutes. So I'll do that. Turned it up a little bit more. We'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay, there's a couple more minutes left on the chicken browning. So I've opened the packet, and inside you have your bag of rice, your sauce, and the spices. So I just thought I'd show you them. It tells you on the packet when to add each bit. Now, once the chicken's done, it asks me to add the onion and the capsicum and cook a further 2 minutes before we add the rice. One thing when cooking chicken, always make sure it's cooked all the way through, because we don't want any nasty germs to get out, do we? We don't want salmonella. Okay, timer's gone off, chicken's been browning for 5 minutes. And now we need to add the onion. And the capsicum. Give that a good mix through. Let that sit for 2 more minutes. We're back after that 2 minutes. Now, oh, I'm flicking capsicum everywhere. Now we've got to add the rice mix. Just pour it in, and we'll give it a mix around. I might lower the heat while I do this. Try not to lose your rice out of the pan like me. Mix that through evenly. It says to now stir in the sauce and the spice mix. So I've already opened them up, so I'll add that. So we get it all out. Don't want to waste any. I fold it up like this, and then you can squeeze out the last bit. Mix that through. Yeah, make sure you turn it down, right down. It's starting to stick now. We'll turn it up again once we add the water. Now the spice mix goes in. Mix that through. Did I bang the camera then? Now, I think the next step is water. The recipe asks for 1 1/3 cups of water. There's my 1 1/3. Stir that through. Make sure all the rice from the side of the pan is in there. Don't want any not getting cooked properly. Okay. Now we can turn it back up to high heat because it asks that we boil. Bring it to the boil and then reduce the heat, simmer for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. So you can't go too far from your dinner. So it's starting to get bubbly now. We'll give it about 30 seconds to get boiling. Come on. It's getting there, it's getting there. All right. I think we're okay. I'm going to reduce the heat now. I'm going to put my wok burner on low and let it simmer. If you turn it down and it's not bubbling at all, just put it to a level that there's like tiny little simmering bubbles. See how there's if you watch it, you might see movement in there. That means it's simmering, but big bubbles means it's boiling. So I've turned that down. I'll set the timer for 10 minutes and we'll be back. So it's been 10 minutes. I've given it a few stirs. See how the liquid seems to have evaporated into the rice? I gave it a taste and the rice is cooked and the chicken is cooked. So now we're going to serve it out. Now I'm going to plate it out. I just realised I didn't forget something, but usually when we make this dish, we put sweet corn in it. And they have pictures of sweet corn on their box, but it didn't have it in the recipe or the ingredients. So, whether that's something that they have forgotten or taken out since the last time, I don't know. So, just plate it out. Might serve, again, like the Bogan bolognese, this might serve 4 to 5 people. Especially since I put extra chicken in. I wish I could eat this, but it's not on my diet. Not eating any carbs at the moment. Oh, try and dish that out evenly. Save myself a tiny bit, just for a taste. Okay, there is what we call, or what we're going to call today, Bogan Mexican rice dish. I'll give you a picture. Oh, nearly dropped it. Not very good with my filming. Enjoy. That only took about 15 to 20 minutes max to make that whole dish. Another great fast dish for young people to make, or anyone to make. But I've never had anyone say they didn't like it. Everybody loves it. And it would be even better if I'd put corn in it this time. So maybe, I think it used to say on the packet to add 2 cups of corn to the recipe, but I don't know why they've opted to take it out, because I'll show you the box. It has corn in the picture, which is a bit strange. They've got other tips, like, you know, you can add some chorizo and chicken and brown it together, but it used to say add the corn, and trust me, it doesn't mention corn at all. It used to have a picture of a corn cob on there, and it looks like there's a few bits of corn in this main picture and down the bottom here. Oh well, it'll still taste good. Please like and subscribe and share my Bogan dishes. Enjoy!